The best, worst story about a well story is unreadable. Our main protagonist died, so now our main protagonist is the grandson of the sister of the uncle of this wacky story's over, aka Skeletor's brother who is mentally insane. One day Skeletor's brother who is mentally insane trips over a rock and falls onto a Snackers bar. This was a special Snackers bar, however, as it was blessed by the people in Noonia and also kept in Chernobyl for 50 years. The Snackers bar irradiated his arm but also awakened his stand ability, Zarkrakinum, which was pretty cool, but not as cool as Coolioso Memoroso, who is Skeletor's brother who is mentally insane's rival, who also managed to awaken his stand ability, Meme Waldo, which allows him to be even cooler than time itself. Because of plot holes and things of the sort, they start fighting. Zarkrakinum uses radiation poisoning and everyone is deaded except Coolioso Memoroso, who is too cool for school, and he uses Meme Waldo to freeze the radiation poisoning, but then 16 copies of Horse's War fall on his stand and crush it. However, Coolioso Memoroso is still too cool to die. But then Coolioso Memoroso manages to fall into Skeletor's brother who is mentally insane's trap card and dies. Then Skeletor's brother who is mentally insane gains Meme Waldo's ability and becomes uber cool, and his stand becomes Zarkrakinum, Meme Waldo. The best worst story about a well. The no good story nobody reads except the writer. Actual Part 2. Our gnarly protagonist, Bob Richtofen, woke up on a hospital with 32 copies of Horse's War next to him. He should have died from eating the Snackers bar, but for some reason he didn't. As he looks around his surroundings, he sees something glorious, a floor-leaved Spidgetwinner. He sold this and made enough money to make a giant Beyblade that, when spinned, could destroy cities in seconds. This angered Trump Donald, as he thought Bob was going to use it to destroy the White House, inside the greenhouse, and all the grass that was cut by Obama, who is actually a horse. So Trump Donald went to the dark side and decided to do something insane, something that baffles people even to this day, something that scares everyone and makes them cower in fear. He rebuilded the well. The best worst story about a well. What episode this is. Bob Richtofen was suddenly time-warped back into the well from episode 1, which still had 20 men inside including Mike Morpurgo. However, this time there are 64 copies of Horse's War, which was enough to get everyone out of the well except Mike Morpurgo, as he a part of the well. As soon as Bob got out of the well, a super-duper timey wibbly-wobbly tubular time portal came out of nowhere and another Bob Richtofen jumped out with a flamethrower. Future Bob Richtofen yells "Imu" from the future. No time to explain, then the future Bob Richtofen throws present Bob into the well with his flamethrower, as a giant mesh arm grabs him and crushes him. The mesh was being piloted by none other than Coolioso Memoroso's corpse. The return of Coolioso Memoroso's corpse was such a revelation that everything froze except Bob, as Bob had a flamethrower. Luckily enough, Bob was a part of the Richtofen bloodline, so he was able to use magical karate to pick up copies of Horse's War and seal the ceiling of the well within mere seconds. This provided protection from the mesh, but how was Bob supposed to escape this situation?